Well, it's just going to be kind of a friendly little interview process here, where each council member will have a question for you. You'll have 15 minutes in the interview.
Okay.
So time management for your answers, nothing surprise to you, but time management is probably important for you. Everything that we do is being recorded, and it'll eventually be on the Bowie Cable TV, our transparency commitment, and we do it after the interviews are all done, so nobody has an advantage. At the end of the interview, at the end of the questions, we'll set some time aside so you can tell us something about you as an individual and whatever thought you'd like to leave with us.
Okay.
And with that, I'm going to start the questions with Mr. Marcos.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for being here and have an interest in our District 3 council seat. My question is a two-part question on development. As soon as we start the clock, we will go.
Mark? He's been starting right after the...
Oh, right. I've always started it after the first question.
Oh, okay. Good.
Okay.
That was God speaking to us.
My question is, how do you feel about going forward with residential and commercial development in Bowie? And what do you think the relationship between the county and the city of Bowie should be with regards to development?
I think that we can move forward with development, and I think we can do it in what I call the right way. And so I think there's smart development when it comes to city management. And can you repeat the question one more time? The end of that question?
Yeah, the end of the question, the second part. What do you think the relationship between the county and the city of Bowie should be with regards to the development?
Okay. So I see them as partners, so as collaborators. It represents a dual relationship, if I will say that. A dual relationship in which both have equal responsibility in some sense. And so it's my understanding that the city of Bowie as well as Prince George's County have a master plan. And so that master plan should serve as a strategic plan for both the city and the county. And that should be the driving force behind all initiatives.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Trout.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for applying for the position for District 3. My question is, what do you think is the most important issue in Bowie, and how do you plan to make improvements?
I think one of the most important issues in Bowie is we have a rich history and legacy. At the same time, we have an opportunity to move forward with progress. And so I think one of the challenges is to navigate that process, to retain the history and legacy that Bowie has established, but also to move forward, forward-thinking, as we become a global community, as we become a more diverse community, to consider all those aspects. I understand that managing a city is a complex task, and I think that it requires development in some sense. It also requires buy-in from the community and the constituents.
Thank you.
Mr. Gordon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Dr. Carter, for coming out this evening. My question, it is more or less a statement or both a question. It is my opinion that local government is the most important level of government. Explain why you either agree with me or disagree.
Okay, some of my background is in emergency planning, and there's a saying that we have is that all incidents are handled on the local level, and I think that also applies to city management. And so the city government has the direct day-to-day impact on our residents' lives, whereas the county has some impact, and so does the state and the federal government, but local politics is where I could say the action takes place, and I think where we have the greatest opportunity for impact.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Wolfley.
Thank you, and thank you for coming out this evening, and thank you for volunteering to be here and to serve the community. Here's my question for you. To date, how have you chosen to serve the city of Bowie? For example, have you served on city committees, run for office, been on a homeowner association, PTA, or the like? And how will that help you represent your constituents?
Okay. Community engagement has always been important to me. From my upbringing, just being involved in the community was what is expected, and that's been evidenced throughout my academic and professional career. I'm the founder of 3 scholarship programs, and so 2 of those programs are designed for graduating seniors from high school in the state of Maryland, and one of those programs is designed for a graduating senior from the University of Maryland. So that's one regard. I also serve as an advisor and mentor at the University of Maryland. I serve on the scholarship selection committee at the University of Maryland. I serve as an advisor for the College Bound Foundation, which serves to provide college access and readiness to residents of the state of Maryland. And they also have a comprehensive scholarship application in which we award over $3 million annually. Within the city of Bowie, I serve on the Bowie Mentoring Program, and those are just a few examples of community engagement.
Mr. Stepp.
Good evening. The Sears location at Bowie Town Center is closing. The owners of the property are planning a mixed-use development on the site. What are your thoughts on the matter?
It kind of goes back to our first question, and so I think development is important, and I think that we can't avoid development. But again, there's a smart way to do that. With that in mind, I think that my personal opinion is that District 3 is the economic district of the city. It is almost the heart of the city, and for some development like this, it's probably the most suitable location for this type of development. Before we make a decision about development, it's important that we get buy-in and consider considerations of all constituents, most importantly the residents, and that we have their input as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, that's the hard part.
Okay.
Now would I give you some time to tell us about who you are, what kind of message you would like us to have to remember this meeting for.
Okay. First, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to interview for the Bowie City Council District 3 position. I want to acknowledge you all for your leadership. Bowie is a vibrant community. It's been recognized by USA Today as the best city to live in the state of Maryland. One of the variables discussed was educational attainment, which is really important to me. Education, it transforms lives. Its impact transcends a lifetime and is felt from generation to generation. Education provides keys to resources and opportunities. It builds bridges of foundation, and it provides pathways even when roads seem to lead to dead ends. When our talents and interests converge, we find our passion and we find our purpose. And for me, education has enabled me to do that. And it is my belief to dedicate myself and my life to enhance the lives of others. My leadership style has been described as daring and inspiring to effect dynamic change. As a nationally recognized leader, I have over 15 years of comprehensive experience and have received numerous awards for educational excellence, innovation, leadership, and diversity, and I look forward to bringing that perspective to the city of Bowie. I understand the magnitude of this position in terms of responsibility, but also importance, and I know that partnerships are key to a city's success. I have government experience on the local, state, and federal level, and I am NIMS, ICS, and CERT trained, and I've worked on many key initiatives to include the Emergency Operations Plan, the Continuity of Operations Plan, and the Education Plan in Baltimore City. Specifically, nationally, I serve on the Advisory Council for the American Association of Community Colleges, providing key decision-making and recommendations to over 1,200 community colleges across the nation, demonstrating my belief in shared governance. My current position as professor at Anne Arundel Community College, comprised of over 55,000 students. It's similar to the population of the city of Bowie. I've served on over 30 highly effective committees. In closing, I believe that I am the best candidate for this position. I believe that my experience and my education culminate and demonstrate my strong candidature for this position. I look forward to the opportunity to bring in my personal philosophy of continuous improvement, strategic planning, and community engagement. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much. We appreciate your visit.
Thank you. And I did do a printout for you all.
You can leave that with us if you like.
Say it again?
Is that something?
Yes, something in addition to what was submitted. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Was this your high school graduation picture?
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, we Terps have to stick together.
Yes, I have this pen here from President Rowe. Yes, yes,
I was there a little before you.
yes. Have a good evening.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Good evening. Welcome back to the City Council meeting of February 5. Mr. Pro Tem?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to move us to open session.
Moved and seconded by Dr. Trout. Any questions on the motion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. All right, before we do with the business of the rest of the night, which will be to announce council selection for the vacancy, I want to make a couple of things. I want to thank first all the incredible applicants that came forward to participate in this council vacancy. Looking at and listening to this great group of talented, committed, and engaged residents in Bowie serves to reassure us of the strength and depth of the talent that resides in this city. I also want to thank the City Council for their attentiveness and thoughtful engagement in this entire process. You've again demonstrated your commitment to the city and your ability to face challenging tasks effectively. And I also want to thank, and special thanks to City Clerk Wilda Hernandez for all of the work and effort she put into the organization, publication, management, induction, conduct of this business, and listening to all our whining. We're truly proud of you and appreciate all the talent that you bring. Now that said, after hours of interviews and some serious review and debate, the City Council has reached a decision in this process. To that end, I call on Mayor Pro Tem Henri Garner to officially move the City Council's decision in this matter. Mr. Garner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move to appoint the following individual to the position of District 3 Council Member for the City of Bowie, Dr. Darian Senn-Carter.
The second by Mr. Wolfley. Are there any questions on the motion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yes. Wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yes, no opposition, 1 abstain. With that, I want to thank you, Council, for all the hard work you put in. I'm really impressed with, this is a challenging event. You guys have done incredible work. You have sat here through at least 15 hours of interviews and debate, and I think you're a credit to yourselves, and I thank you for all that. Assuming the applicant accepts this position, we'll move on to that. Now I just need a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor,
sir?
could I just make a quick comment?
Go.
I just wanted to thank the mayor for his leadership in this process. It went very smoothly, I thought. We had a lot of really wonderful candidates, and I'm glad we were able to make a decision tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Gardner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move to adjourn.
Second. Moved and second. Any question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.